All right, and welcome back to episode 030.
030
of the OK Podcast, powered by the Strength Co. I'm your. We're gonna get to that in a second, there, Trey. The opening's a little bit different. This is what we call a soft opening, and then we tell everyone you're here, and that's the grand opening. But episode 030 of the OK Podcast, powered by the Strength Co. I'm your host, Grant Broggi, broadcasting live right now. It won't be live when you're listening to it, from the upstate of South Carolina, which I've gotten a lot of questions about this week. And again, as I met a lot of listeners, so I have to cover down on that once again. The upstate just is interesting to folks, but the price of Bitcoin is $65,836. Today is July the 23rd in the year of our Lord 2024. Joe Biden is president. Bitcoin's holding in the 60s. And I'm here in studio with PJ.
What's up?
And joining us from beautiful Frisco, Texas, with not a yawn in sight, Mr. Robert Gottlich III. Real quick, shout out Zach Copley, 853644 from the block clock for the block height. And usually we ramble for about 10 minutes and then say, let's get these guys on here. But Big Jeff can't make it today, so let's get this guy on here. Play cool music. All right, episode 030 of the
Okay.
Guidons. Okay. Podcast.
It wasn't the same without Jeff.
It wasn't. Also, weird intro, but we are here. And how you doing, Trey?
Oh, doing good, man. I like how you just now realize it's a weird intro.
Yeah. No, it's always.
I also feel like we're getting worse at it every time we do it.
Well, yeah, but that's just part of the deal. Did you see the little reel on the OK Podcast where people were just like, okay?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It was pretty funny. I need to do the blooper one because like one guy comes up to me on Friday, and after we get through a lot of slides, we'll just like break down the lift hard, live easy. But one guy comes up to me Friday, and he's like, okay. And I'm like, okay. Like a lot of people did that. And he's like, dude, I love the podcast. I'm like, sweet. So he was one of the first people I just like popped up, right? People are like mid conversation, like, one word, what would it be? And he goes, beep. And I'm like, the name of the podcast. He's like, oh, let me try again. Okay.
Get it in post.
Yeah, we'll get it in post. We did get it in post, but we'll show the blooper run later.
That's awesome.
I think we got to kick things off with the lifting update.
You know what, man? It's Rome wasn't built in days, that they would say.
Amen.
So
They do say that.
It's an improvement, man. I didn't get all the lifts that I wanted to get in, but it's we're getting better, man. I did a bench press and then just I don't know, got home and kind of got a little bit hectic. So
you've lifted since last week we recorded.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a win. That's a huge win.
Yeah. It's like I said, we're heading in the right direction.
Were you sore?
Not where we need to be.
Were you sore from the 5x5s?
I was so sore after that.
Yeah.
That squat.
That was bad. That was bad. Bad gouge from me.
Well, now I got to do it every time now. So
yeah. Can't afford not to.
Now you're good.
Afford not to.
Thought about you today. Thought about PJ today as he prepares for his wedding and he's busy. Thought about lots of people I talk to that have kids and stop lifting. So we got in last night around 8:30, 20:30 for you non-civilian types. And today was a busy day, but great. But I leave tomorrow morning at 07 to go out for drill. And so I was like, all right. Originally I was supposed to get back at like 18:30 last night, but Microsoft and everything, which I want PJ's breakdown of that here in a second. But anyway, I was like, all right, I've got to work into the gym. And we had like our doula meeting today. So the doula comes over and like we're talking pregnancy stuff. It was at 2:15. I was like, okay, I bet that's like done at 3. I have a meeting at 5. Well, it ended up going till 3:30 and it was great, like amazing. But so I get to the gym and I'm like, I have 32 minutes. This is like while I'm in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what am I to do? Not train? I think not. And so I went in and did 5x5 squats. And one great thing, I've talked about it in YouTube videos.
That's quick.
Yeah. 5 sets, 5 ascending sets.
Okay.
And that's what I want to get at. One thing I've talked about is like putting your phone away if you're in a time crunch. And one good way to do that, not that it's interesting to most listeners, but people on X really like time lapses. So I just like put my phone in a time lapse as I'm like putting on my shoes, like getting the Mars bar out. And then I just did 2 sets 5 with empty bar. Then at 135, 225, 315, 365, 405. Add 20 pounds to all of that because Mars bar is different, but whatever. That's what it was plate wise. And I was done in like 27 minutes. I was like in a full sweat, totally like wiped. And I was just like, okay. If you have 30 minutes, you can get a decent workout in.
It can be done.
Yeah, it can be done. And well, I was thinking about like everything I was telling you last week. I was like, oh, I'm living it right now. But yeah, it can be done. And is that as effective as 5x5 sets across? Probably not. But if you use your warm-ups as like, so usually, you'd go down in reps as you add weight to the bar in warm-ups. But if you use your warm-ups as work sets, and don't get me wrong, 135 is not super heavy for me, whatever, but it accumulated the volume. And I kept the rest like really, really short until that last set. I think it took 4 minutes. But yeah, sending 5x5s underrated if you're in a jam.
Ooh, I like that.
That's also the same thing I tell people to do if it's their first day back in the gym.
Yeah.
Like just do sending 5x5s basically until it gets hard. Boom, it's hard now. Okay, stop, move on to the next lift. Where did I finish? 265. Okay, next time I come to the gym, 265, 3x5, and then build back from there.
Do you do the cardio zone?
Am I in the cardio zone? Usually I actually start a time, like I go into my Garmin and go to strength and hit go. And I do pay attention to my heart rate like after the fact. Today I didn't because I was just like really moving. I did between, I think, 315 and 365. I sat down for a second or got water or something. I was like, okay, I should go. And I looked, I was like, ooh, my heart rate's at like 118. I need to like let it chill because I had like gone so fast. But no, I mean, in general, I tell people if you're resting between heavy sets, probably get your heart rate down to 100 or just below before you do your second set. But yeah, do you know what your heart rate is after a heavy set?
No, not off the top of my head.
Yeah.
How useful is knowing that? Because I kind of rail against it a little bit in my mind. I'll try it here and there, and then I'll be like, I'll always fall off of it. And it's because if I'm trying to know, hey, is my heart rate up? Usually I'm like, is my heart rate up?
Yes.
And then I'm like, hey, am I more relaxed now? I'm like, yeah, I feel fine. And isn't that what you need to know?
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to know. The only thing I would say, is just like we use a timer because you can be like, hey, I'm relaxed now at 3 minutes, but you might sit there until 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you're distracted or whatever. So it can be a metric useful for some people. My only thing with it is this Garmin, potential sponsor, Solar Tactical, it's called. It's like it like warms up and then is accurate. So what I mean by that is I also have the Garmin heart rate monitor. If I go for a run in this thing.
Is it the one that goes around the chest?
Yeah, it goes around the chest. Yeah. And I wear it sometimes when I run. But if I go for a run with just my watch, let's say I run 3 miles at a 9-minute pace, my Garmin, the first 2 minutes will tell me like, you never left zone 1. Your heart rate was like 85. And I'm like, that is not true. And then the last one, it's like pegged out.
Yeah.
Whereas if I do the same run with the heart rate monitor, like my heart rate's elevated much quicker. Okay. So it's kind of like, I have the Garmin scale. I have the Garmin Suite. Look at me. Wow, it's like my Garmin scale. When I stand on it, it's like you're 24% body fat. But then like when the Marine Corps measures me or I get on or do a DEXA scan or I do an in-body, I'm 14%. But what that does do is give me a baseline. Yeah. So if I'm 24, 24.1, 23.9, 24.
You always use that scale.
Right. So I feel like that's where like the watch can be useful. But no, I don't think you have to like look at your heart rate. Yeah. But some people are really into that. Yeah. So I would say if you're really into like following your heart rate during a workout, probably getting it down below 100.
I mean, if you were doing like intense training for a race or a marathon, then it's useful. Like you're actually trying to build your VO2 max meticulously. Yeah. Then that makes sense. Or you just do my strategy and just really don't do cardio and then you don't need it.
There you go.
I was talking to Dr. Gottlich today and he was telling me that
former guest of the OK podcast.
Former guest. And I was we were talking about this and I was curious to get your take on it. Have you ever tried swimming as a cardio workout?
Yes.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on that? You a fan, not a fan?
Hard.
I'm a fan. So like while I was in the Marine Corps, at some point I got like, for those that don't know, even though we're amphibious, there's not a big swimming requirement in the Marine Corps. You either know how to swim, and that is AKA not drown, or you don't and you fail. But unless you are in like MARSOC, a McQuist, or like a special MOS that requires it, I'm not saying that the swim qual is super easy. Do you think it's super easy, Trey?
So there's 3 levels to it. You got your entry level. Was it beginner, intermediate, and expert?
Basic,
right?
intermediate, and I
that's
forget what the top one is. Yeah.
The basic one, man, if you do not freak out when you get in water, like you'll be fine.
Well, I think you just have to actually know how to swim.
I've seen guys who can like dog paddle and they pass.
No, that's what I mean. It's like if you can swim,
if you cannot die in the water, you jump off a dive board. How high?
That one's not very high. Maybe 15 feet, 10.
The intermediate one's the high one.
The intermediate is high.
Like 3 meter, 9 meter.
Probably.
We don't use meters.
Yeah, this is America. I would say the basic is 15 feet.
Okay.
So you jump. So it's like a high dive at a county pool.
I think they measure it in meters. The board.
They
That's why.
Okay. Well, I was just throwing Trey a bone there. Yeah. But you jump off. Now we're going to the swim qual. Then I'll answer the cardio question. But you jump off, you sink, and then when you come up, you have to splash like to clear debris. Like that's part of the test. So you can't just pop your head up. Like what if there's a fire? What if there's something? What if someone's shooting at you?
I didn't think about that.
So you clear your head. So that's like it's kind of like a command in a powerlifting command. It's like boom. I have to hold this on my chest till someone says press. It's like a little thing, but like people forget it all the time. Mm-hmm. And then you basically swim like 10 meters and get out of the pool. And then you put a bunch of gear on, you jump in the pool and you swim down and back. So like 50 meters.
Okay.
And then when you're at the deep end, you have to like, maybe it's shallow. You have to like don your gear, meaning take it off, but retain it all. So you have like a plastic rifle, you have like a flak on and a Kevlar.
Oh, yeah, that's hard.
That's the intermediate one, right?
Is it? That's not the beginner. Am I mixing them?
The beginner one is like you jump off, you do that.
No, you jump in the shallow end and just swim to like a marker. Actually, you're right.
And then you just do a survival float for like.
I was going to ask if you guys did that. I had to do that when I was growing up.
Yeah,
float. But the thing is, like, you can use your camis, and so like your camis, like. You can take off your trousers and then like
flip them over your head and like go into the water and they inflate.
Yeah.
So you tie them together. It sounds like you've done it before. And then you put it over your head and it's a life jacket. There's like a couple different ways.
I haven't done that. That's kind of cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, or like blow into it and like do the Michelin Man and kind of sit there.
Yeah. So the basic one, do you have to take your boots off? I always think that's the hardest part. I think that's intermediate.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think that's intermediate. Anyway, intermediate, basically, you jump off a really high dive. That's actually pretty. I mean, like if you're like, I get up there and it's like, whoa. It's like don't
30,
think about it.
30 feet or something?
Yeah, probably 30 feet.
Big and then you jump off.
And then you jump off, same thing.
Yeah.
But you go right into 500 meters or it's 250. Yeah, I think it's 500. I think basics maybe 250.
Oh, that sucks.
So that you have to train for a little bit.
That one sucks.
So back to your question, have I ever done it for cardio? I was doing the intermediate swim qual one time and I realized how gassed I was at the end of it. Yeah. And mostly because like I don't have a proper stroke. Like, yeah, I can, what's this one? Breaststroke. I can do the crawl stroke, but like not efficiently.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to get better at this.
Efficiently is the word because you can just like wiggle around and then you're going to die.
Waste tons of energy.
Yeah.
And so there's probably like maybe a 6 month period as the first lieutenant where like I think it's when I lived with you, Trey. I think 3 mornings a week I was going to the pool and swimming.
Oh, wow.
And I just like novice linear progressed it.
I think a lot of those gains is just learning how to swim efficiently.
Yeah.
Because your cardio is not even getting better. You're just not wasting a bunch of energy.
Right.
And then once you can actually get a stroke down that's efficient, then your cardio comes into play. Cause I remember when I was in college, I was bro lifting, probably 5 days a week. And And I was like, I'm pretty in shape. I'll do some cardio. Yeah. Oh, they have a pool. I'll jump in the pool. I can probably crush that. I remember going down and back I guess I wasn't very good at swimming, but I thought I was. And I remember just being so gassed after just going down and back. And I was like,
that's hard. Yeah.
I was like, this is more serious than I thought it was. And I trained a little bit.
Was it a 25 meter or 50 meter? Do you know?
I think it was 50.
What's the Polgus pool?
That one 25. I think that was a 25.
It was a pretty big pool.
Most of them you see are 25. Like if it's in a gym, a lot of them are 25.
Yeah, down and back is 50.
Yeah,
maybe that was it.
But I don't know, man. As you get older, or as I get older, and like bigger dudes, like running on concrete, like over time, like you said, like run once a week, like it's hard on your joints, hard on your knees.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like swimming might just be a good. It's hard to find a good place, a good natatorium to swim in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But if you do have one, man, I feel like that would be a good option. Because you, like you say, you do it real quick and get gassed.
Yeah.
It's a good cardio workout. And it's
no
impact.
Yeah.
And if you eat a bunch of church casserole, you get like super fat, then you just float.
There you just float, baby.
Yeah.
You just cruise down the water.
I do love the Marines that like don't know how to swim. And like during that, the basic is definitely 250 because they just get on their back and they just kick off the side and then they're just like backstroke, but super slow. And they're always like going at an angle. There's like a couple Marines that like know how to swim and it's like, move. Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. I got to do my swim qual this year. I guess it's been 3 years since I've done it. And I was like, oh man, I should probably like swim a couple times before then, but
you could still muscle it. I feel like you're in good enough cardio shape to where you can muscle an intermediate if you wanted to.
3 years ago, that's what I did. I just was like, they're like, what do you want? I got there. I was like, how long's the basic good for? They're like 18 months. It's like intermediate. Give me 3 years. You want to talk about efficiency? Give me the higher one.
I think what makes that hard is it's weird. Like you have to jump off with your clothes on, right? And you got to wait for something, and then you got to take stuff off. Like just doing the swim, I don't think is that bad, but those interruptions I think would throw you.
I guess I gotta give the Marines some credit. Swimming in camis is a lot different than just being in swim trucks.
Do you have boots on too?
On the longer swim, you do not. For the basic, intermediate, you do.
Oh no, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, just the camis are so like you lift your arm and it's just like full of water.
Oh yeah, it's different. That's different.
It's definitely different. But do you have a pool you can go to, Trey?
I've been asking around to see if I could find one, but like it's like $20 a pop, and I'm like I don't know if
it's a lot for cardio.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's go run up a hill.
There you go. Kettlebells, I think, are good.
Kettlebells.
That's cheap and not hard on the joints, I feel like.
Yeah. Just can cause a lot of soreness. So like it can't be a one-off.
So I'm still on the hunt for a good pool. I might try it out.
Yeah. Staying amphibious. I like it.
Yeah.
Or those bikes, you know?
Yeah. The Airdynes.
The Airdynes.
Yeah. I need to get one of those. Are they expensive?
I feel like you can find a cheap one.
$600.
I bet you can find a used one.
No, even used. I'll tell you this. It's
like a 1% of a Bitcoin.
When I closed it is. Good job. Nice. When I closed the Villa Park gym, I had 2 Airdynes in there. Both of them I bought for $699. I sold both, having been used commercially for 3 years, for $600 each.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like a barbell. Like, unless it's completely rusted and like the value you're saving is the fact that you're going to restore it. Like if it's in good condition and assuming it's not bent, but it's like, hey, it's $325 new. Like some guy just messaged me the other day. He's like, hey, what bar is this? Said Stranko. It was the standard bar before the end cap said standard. And I was like, oh, this is like from 2021. And I was like, yeah, that's our bar. He's like, which one is it? I was like, standard bar. And he's like, oh, nice. I got it on offer up for $300. And I was thinking like, man, for $25, I probably would have bought a new one, but I guess it was there. He didn't have to pay shipping. You know,
it's a good deal.
Looked like it hadn't really been used. So classic story.
Good for him.
I think we got a next slide for Jeff since he's not here. Top 25 college football stadiums. And we'll just go through them, see if we agree or not, spark a little conversation.
Okay.
You down?
So when you say top 25, like by experience or by difficulty to play, or is there multiple things that are involved, or do you know?
We asked 14 of our college football writers to rank the best stadiums in the sport. No parameters, no criteria. Writers were asked to submit their top 20 stadiums in order. we have awarded 20. We have awarded points: 20 for first place votes, 19 for second, all the way down to 1 point for the stadium voted 20. So I think it's all of that combined.
Okay.
You know? So and then we can just do agree or disagree.
Okay.
Number 1, Tiger Stadium, LSU
First
Tigers,
place?
first place. The Bayou.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've heard.
Also, I have not gone through this list.
Having never been there, I've heard. I think it'd be pretty cool to go to like a night game there. I heard if you're an opposing fan, it's just like not a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, but I've heard that too. Like if you're an opposing fan, they just hound you so much that,
which I guess is why it makes it difficult to play in. But
right, I'll tell you, I've passed it 3 times in my life, and it looks pretty impressive. From
just watching it on TV, man, it looks impressive at like a night game at LSU.
And I think like 2 hours before the game starts, the entire student section is full. And so I've seen like they just like heckle like during the practice squad, they're just like going crazy. So I don't know that would be my number 1. Well, it wouldn't be my number 1. You know where my number 1 is, but I do agree that's up there.
Yeah.
Would you agree with something? Any thoughts?
Agree. Yeah.
No thoughts.
No
Awesome.
thoughts. Okay. I have major problems with this one. Number 2, Rose Bowl, UCLA Bruins, 1922.
No.
So here's what I would give to it. I've been to the Nebraska Georgia game, Rose Bowl there.
Okay.
I think it was Nebraska Georgia. Yeah, like maybe 7 years ago. It would have been like 2018, 17.
Nebraska made a bowl game. Dang.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like 95% sure. The inside of the stadium set in the mountains is cool.
I think just for like the history of it, it would be cool.
Yeah.
But like you watch a game there, it's like mostly empty. Like, I don't know. I would not put it at number 2 if that's where it's
I wouldn't
at.
put it top 5.
No.
But it is cool.
Maybe back in the day, but yeah, not now.
Number 3, Michigan, 1927. You must have a thought on this, PJ. You're from the Midwest.
Michigan? Nah, I didn't go to Michigan.
No. Well, I know you didn't go there, but I just mean, Indiana.
I'm going to vote whatever's in Indiana.
Okay. Good luck.
Nothing. I think Michigan, again, that would be like, that'd be on the bucket list for sure. So I could see that being up there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Biggest stadium, right?
Yeah, biggest 107,000. Or yeah, 107,000. Yeah.
So I would put it
in
up
2013, they drew 115,000 for the Notre Dame game.
That's insane.
Largest crowd to ever attend a football game on a campus.
The only thing I've heard with that is like, you know how I think William Bryce Stadium kind of goes up.
William Bryce goes out and up.
So yeah, it goes out and up. The big house just goes out.
Yeah.
So it's not really. So it's like it's a giant. I don't know. It doesn't go very high, so it's still not very loud.
Yeah, you don't have that.
Is what I've heard.
You don't have that effect.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4, Notre Dame.
Dude, I feel like Notre Dame gets all this hype, and I'm like,
I just feel like people like Jesus.
Yeah,
I'm not even kidding. Like touchdown Jesus is cool.
Yeah,
but I don't know that means inside the stadium is like that amazing.
I vote Notre Dame.
Like,
That's
I don't
number
know.
1.
Notre Dame, number 1. Okay, PJ.
You got Rudy. I don't know, man. You got a lot of history. It would be a bucket list. It'd be cool to go to.
Yeah.
But
Oh, so now we're basing on it if there's a cool movie made about it.
yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Got Junction Boys, number 1. Okay.
What's the South Carolina one?
I don't think we have a movie. No, we do have a movie. Yeah, when Beamer took over or a show. I don't know. Beaver Stadium, Penn State.
Yeah.
Up there. 5.
I think
top 5.
I would put that higher than I would put that like top 3.
I
whiteout game.
actually agree with you. Yeah, I think it's ahead of Notre Dame and Michigan and the Rose Bowl. But I think I wouldn't be mad with a LSU, Penn State, then Michigan in that order.
Okay, I go with that
But
so far.
Whatever. Okay, this one I don't like. Shout out Craig Robinson. Number 6, Washington Huskies.
Dude, I've seen pictures of that, man, and it's just like
They got the
absolutely beautiful.
They got the Navy, right? kind of like Tennessee. I think they have like the Husky Navy.
But it's just like the backdrop of it looks pretty awesome.
They call it the greatest setting in college football.
Yeah, it looks.
Why is it number 6?
Yeah,
I really doubt like it's not intimidating. It's probably not intimidating to play in.
Premier college football bucket list trip on the West Coast.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think I'm just SEC. Although we'll see if they make it or not. I have a couple smaller schools that I would argue are pretty amazing. But yeah, I think I'm just so removed from. I mean, thinking about Husky football that doesn't dawn on me. Number 7, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Just had a sheer disdain for that school.
I know, me too.
I'm gonna say no. I don't.
Yeah.
This unfounded.
They shouldn't even be on.
Ohio.
They shouldn't be in the top 20.
Have you ever been there?
Never been to that stadium.
To the stadium? No.
Have you?
I've been to the campus.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been to the campus.
I drove by it when we were at the Arnold.
Yeah. I drove by it. Yeah. We were right there, but I've never.
I'm sure it's cool, and I'm sure it's a cool experience. I don't know. It's to me they don't have it's not like a Penn State like cool tradition like whiteout game, but I'm sure it's.
They think it's really cool.
They have the band.
Yeah. They dot the I. Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
They don't cross the T. I'll tell you that much. Wisconsin.
I've heard Madison's a cool town.
Yeah, I've been there.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, 1917. We played Wisconsin in a bowl game in Florida, and we won one of Spurrier's 3-11 win seasons.
How was their turnout? They have
their turnout was good. Like the fans were just so nice. They were just like, "Oh, we lost. Okay." Like, wait,
good game.
Yeah, all right.
They're too drunk to care.
Yeah. All right, number 9, Alabama.
Out of all the SEC schools, I'm surprised that's that high.
Well, you had LSU first, but I get what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, me too. I think super cool. I think a tradition of winning though is what makes it cool.
True. I think Swamp is better. I think.
Yep. This
I
is
think
hard.
The Hedges is cooler.
With the little guy comes out with the trumpet before the Hedges game. Yeah, Hedges is Georgia. Okay, so you agree top 10 though?
I would take Alabama out of there. I would take probably Ohio State out of there. And I would take probably Washington out of there.
Deep cut. Number 10, Neyland Stadium.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Coliseum, cool effects, Vol Navy. When you're walking like out of it, you actually feel like you're in the Coliseum, which I've been to. Like it just feels like so old. Again, I probably have a bias I don't even know I have because I've been there and it's cool. Although I don't necessarily like Tennessee, but definitely cool.
That should be higher in Alabama, I think.
Number 11. You know who it is. Clemson.
Oh, dude.
Right? It's so lame.
The fake Death Valley.
They just run down a hill. The seats are tight. It's like not cool.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
I do think they touch a rock and then they run down a hill.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yep. That's it.
I don't even know the story behind that. Did that rock belong to somebody?
Let's see. They call it the most exciting 25 seconds in college football. Slow buildup, of course.
Goodness.
The video board keeps everyone excited. Coach Dabo Swinney's is always the first to run off the bus because it's all about him, and he's known as the team's cheerleader. Oh, sorry. That's it. He and his players stopped first to rub Howard's Rock, which was placed on a pedestal at the top of the hill in 1966.
Oh, it's not even that old. It's not even that old of a rock.
Yeah, then they play the Tiger Rag, whatever. All right, number 12, Army.
Lame. Yeah, dude, I think just going to like any one of those
military ones,
I think it would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Army looks like it's Hogwarts. Like it's old castle.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, Hogwarts is
Lord of the Rings.
Yep, you got it.
Okay, good. I have a good Star Wars reference from the weekend. What are you looking up, PJ? Same article.
Same article.
He's getting ahead. Number 13. Whoop whoop. Solve our city's horns. You You know me.
I'm too biased.
I like to rag on A&M when everyone goes hand in hand and sways. Looks pretty cool on TV. It's big. I love a Corps of Cadets. I'm biased for that, but I think a Corps of Cadets is cool. I think the 12th Man story is cool.
I'm too biased.
I definitely put him way above Texas A&M. I mean, above Clemson. All right, 14, Oregon. Only 6 to go.
Yeah, I think Oregon. I've been to Eugene, not for a game. I was there for work, and I had to go by the stadium, and that's a pretty cool spot, man. I think that deserves a hype. Cool looking stadium, a lot of that Nike money, so I think that belongs up there.
The duck rides out on a motorcycle.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Nike money.
Yeah, they got those Nike jerseys. Number 15, Virginia Tech.
Yeah. Inner Sandman.
Yep, I agree. I think Inner Sandman was the smartest thing they ever did.
Yeah.
Okay, 16, Nebraska. Go Big Red.
If you have a stadium and on game days when it becomes the second most populated place in the state, like that belongs there. I think that'd be pretty cool.
So I tend to agree, and I like Nebraska fans because, obviously, I like all Boston sports teams, but one of the reasons I do is because South Carolina doesn't have any pro sports teams. And I do think there's an allegiance in like middle class states that don't have pro sports teams where the college scene is just nuts. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like I meet someone on the West Coast. Where are you from? South Carolina. Gamecocks or Tigers? Now we have 2, right? I mean, obviously we have more, but we have 2 big ones. But like people that don't know. Or like whenever I meet someone from Nebraska, I'm like, go Big Red. And they like love it, right? Like, 'cause there's no other option. So I think that belongs up there. Number 17, Jeff Biggie, Auburn Tigers.
That's a pretty cool stadium.
Yeah, cool stadium. Surprise.
I think, again, I would put that higher than Alabama.
Me
don't
too.
know why that. Yeah.
Number 18, Georgia.
Again, I think should be higher than Alabama.
Number 19, Florida State. Can I say Indian?
Whoa. That was offensive.
I have a lot of Native American talk after going through the Dakotas.
What's her mascot?
Seminole. Oh, so I say Seminole.
Yeah, just a more specific Indian.
Yeah, that's okay. When the Seminole rides in on the horse with the spear and throws it down, that's cool. Number 20, it's great to be a Florida Gator.
Yeah. That should be higher. I think the Swamp should be higher.
Yeah, I think that's good. Oh, we're going all the way to 25. 5 more. Then next topic.
Okay.
Ole Miss Rebels, 21.
I think outside the stadium's cool. I think inside the stadium's lame.
Ooh.
I think it's the most frat boy university on the planet.
100%. But like the Grove looks cool.
Aren't they not are they not the Rebels now? I have been. Not to a game, but I've been there.
But is it like aesthetically appealing?
Oh,
outside?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. The Grove looks cool. Yeah.
With tailgates? They are just the Rebels, I believe.
Not the Ole Miss Rebels?
I don't know.
They're listed as Ole Miss Rebels. I thought they were like the Sharks for a minute or something.
Well, they had an identity crisis where they were trying to find a new mascot. So
Is Ole Miss racist?
Like, are the people actually racist, or is saying Old Miss, those 2 words together, racist?
I guess both, but the second one.
Oh, I don't know. Old Mississippi, Ole Miss.
It was very Confederate.
Yeah, branded.
Maybe if they say old with a D, it's not. I think Ole Miss. That sounds sketchy.
Jordy, I need to send you. Whenever they were trying to find a new mascot, there was a big push to have. Star Wars.
Yeah, I know Lord of the Rings, so yeah.
Same thing.
Admiral Akbar, the commander of the rebel force.
I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
Of course.
I'll send you the video. It's pretty good.
Okay.
That'd be pretty good.
22, Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Trojans.
No.
I agree. Think it's terrible. Lived in Southern California for 12 years. No one cares. There's a small population of alumni that care. Driven by it. I don't get it. And And considering there's only 3 left and the amount of places we've left off, the Gamecocks.
No. Does not belong. Yeah.
Does not belong.
Does not belong
off
up
the
there.
list. Okay. This is the small one that I had that I wanted. I would put this way higher. Appalachian State.
I know nothing about that home stadium.
Boone, North Carolina. Amazing. I'm biased towards Eastern North Carolina, the Blue Ridge Mountains, but it is like nestled in, and it is amazing. It's like a football stadium. It's not like one. It is a football stadium carved out of a mountain. It is amazing. I mean, if you get bored tonight, you're trying to go to bed, just Google Appalachian State Stadium and all the best photos will come up like during like fall transition. And you're like, wow, I have never seen anything like that.
It's on the list the same reason that Washington's on the list. Like it looks very cool.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. 24, Boomer Sooner.
No.
Yeah. The wagon's cool. The wagon's cool though.
When it falls over, it's even cooler.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that, of course. I don't think I should read 25. New inductees to the SEC.
Oh, that
Bevo.
They're just happy they made a list. It is a big stadium.
You've been a multiple times, I assume.
Yeah, I've been a handful of times.
Yeah,
not since they've redone it.
Okay.
It looks like they're running out of a female body part whenever they run out of the stadium. Looks like uterus.
Took me a second. Yeah. Okay, got it.
But
so it's like a Dodge Ram emblem.
Gets the crowd going.
Yeah, gets the crowd going.
I don't know, man. I like being unbiased. I think like there's a lot of crowd. They always draw a good crowd, especially for a big game.
Yeah, I could believe that. Okay, others receiving votes. Idaho.
South Carolina not on there.
Nope. Idaho, Iowa, Boise, which I've been to Boise. It's cool, but it's only cool because it's blue.
Blue field. Yeah.
Colorado, only cool because of Deion Sanders. BYU, only cool because they're Mormon. Penn Quakers, only cool because they're Quakers. Utah Utes, been there, lame. Wyoming Cowboys, cool because they're Cowboys. West Virginia, Oklahoma State, UTEP, Oregon State, Air Force, Washington State, Hawaii, South Carolina Gamecocks, 2 votes. Very, very last one listed.
It was Grant and one of his brothers who voted.
Yeah. It was me and
it was Grant in 2 accounts. He just made a new account.
It was me and future podcast guest Steven Garcia. So if you like this college football talk, you do not want to miss August 16th episode when we bring in former Gamecock legend Steven Garcia.
I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, if you don't like college football talk, just unsubscribe. It's
about to get heavy here in a couple months.
If you like us and you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, we really appreciate that. Go to YouTube, the OK Pod, click the little subscribe button, and you won't regret it. And it does a lot for our sponsors, BW Tax, who keep the lights on for us.
Oh.
Do you have a next slide, or should we go into this Lift Hard, Live Easy roundup?
We covered sports pretty heavily.
Yeah, I think so too.
Quick hot take political.
And the last thing you posted. Yeah, go for it.
I think this could be pretty quick, man. I think it is so lame. I think Dave Portnoy was talking about it. I was listening to him. And he's like, who cares? Celebrity endorsements of political.
Okay.
Anybody political.
I got to stop you. Celebrities or sports celebrities?
To me, if it's an individual, is it really endorsing, or is it just saying I'm going to vote for this guy?
Sure, but I just mean,
I feel like
are you talking in the nature of sports, the topic we've currently been on, or no? Are you counting George Clooney 2 weeks ago? George Clooney. Okay,
I don't care who George Clooney votes for.
I think it's all downside. Like I think there are brands, or I guess the difference could be brands or individuals, but I think there are brands that these people stand for these things that I like. That makes me want to shop there more. I think if you were a movie actor, I don't really know what the upside is. But also I don't know what the downside is. Like if I disagree with George Clooney's politics and he comes out with a great movie,
watch his movies.
Still going to watch his movie. So Ocean's 11. I don't know if it's up or down.
Well, it might be a downside for some in that industry if they don't make a statement endorsing the commonly liked.
So you're saying he's doing it
party.
for his own benefit?
I think probably a lot of people are in that Hollywood world.
What about Kid Rock?
Again, don't care.
Yeah.
It was.
What about
if
what
you're
about
right or
Hulk,
left?
Hulk Hogan.
That was pretty.
That was cool.
Awesome.
all the memes were like, the European mind cannot comprehend this when he just had the.
Wait, why didn't we make a meme of him pulling it open and says the strength code?
Oh, we should. I got a meme for you. You're gonna like it.
Okay.
From.
Cool.
I don't think it's a coincidence that Hulk Hogan ripped off his shirt and then like the next day Biden dropped out of the race.
It was that effective. The power of an endorsement from a celebrity.
There you go. So celebrity endorsements are super important.
And only if you're jacked.
They're lame unless you're Hulk Hogan. That's
Hulk
the
Hogan.
thing.
Do you guys see? I can't remember his name now. Brian something. I don't follow pro golf, but this pro golfer who's got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
He came out and
DeChambeau.
He did it. Yeah, that's it. And he did an hour-long video of him just golfing with Trump, and they're just shooting the breeze and everything. And all I'll say is, I watched some clips from it. Trump can golf.
Yeah, no, he can definitely golf.
He can golf.
We should decide
so I saw it shared like joint account, the golfer and Trump. And it said like, let's see what Trump has for YouTube. Yeah. Obviously, I knew that the guy was a professional golfer, but I was like, oh, does that mean that like Trump's going to have a YouTube channel now?
I wish, dude.
Yeah, you could make the thumbnails. Just flames.
Dude, I could do it. I could do it. I'd be, oh man, dream job. Make Trump thumbnails, dude. Yeah. I would divide the country. Actually, I don't know if I want to.
They're already pretty divided. So
I would cause problems.
We're already pretty divided.
No, but I thought like it was like, you know, Trump. He's famous for hyperbole and saying like, I'm the best, I'm the greatest at this, and he's talked about his golf game. And I thought, okay, like he's old, like he just plays golf. No, he's actually pretty good.
242 pounds of spring and blue steel.
Yeah, apparently. Pretty good.
There you go.
Check it out.
DJT Golf.
Right.
He's on YouTube now, so maybe he'll join the podcast.
Last sports thing, PJ, what happened with Jake Paul?
He won, and then
he did win.
He won, and then Conor McGregor. I don't even know, dude. So what he'd had to do was come up with a fight to fill in for Tyson, where Tyson dropped out and had to postpone it.
Was this guy like his same age?
No, he was much older than him, 40 pounds smaller than him, and shocker, Jake Paul knocked him out.
My kind of fighting right there.
Yeah. Conor McGregor came out and just like blasted him and was just basically called him a lot of bad words and was like, this is a sham. You're fake. Like,
I would watch Conor McGregor versus Jake Paul.
I would watch that. Although Jake Paul's a lot bigger than Conor McGregor.
I'd still watch it. And I'd still put money on the Irishman.
I would put money on the Irishman. Yeah. He's got a magic touch.
White people these days, they're no good. Can't do anything.
Unfounded confidence, man.
They're not strong.
What?
No, I'm just
yeah.
Oh, I guess Irish people are also white. Never mind.
Depends on who you ask, I guess.
All right. I think we covered sports.
Yeah, covered politics.
I was pointing at the timer.
Oh, okay.
Do we need to handle that, or we're good? We got time for an ad read?
We got time for an ad read.
All right. So I'm going to guess that Connor didn't make the board.
Not yet.
So the best thing is I've never told PJ, hey, put that ad read on the board. It's just sometimes I see a new light. And
it just appears.
I'm fascinated by how he chooses.
You don't even want to get into it. It's a long, complicated.
We have to call BW.
There's bylaws. You know, you have to second the motion.
Yeah.
To get into that, it's complicated.
We have to call BW. You know, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a whole thing.
Speaking of BW, who approves ad reads, we're going to take it back to our first ad read. Well, they're not the first. We were the first, but the first guest that did an ad read, because then we're going to transition and talk about the Lift Hard, Live Easy class.
I love it.
That's what I love. What I've always loved about BW Tax is, you can be someone like me. I have a W-2 job still. Got to support the wife, the kids. There you go. Kids, there's child tax credits. It's the government has really created a wild maze that is income tax and loopholes and all that. And that's what the folks at BW Tax, that's their bread and butter. I mean, that's what they're known for and what they've come to be so excellent at. And that's why, you could talk to them remotely, even if you're from some place in the sticks like Western Northeast South Dakota, you can still talk to a warm body at BW Tax. It's not a bot. It's not a chat GPT service. It's real people there providing a real service. And that's what I love about them at
BWTaxLLC.com.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what I like about them.
I'm inspired.
Tear in my eye, man.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
The
good
goat.
Yeah, the goat. Speaking of the goat,
So did you lift hard or did you live easy?
I did a little bit of both. I think, where do we start? At the beginning.
I start at the beginning.
Yeah. So let's see. We flew out of here Thursday early, landed in South Dakota at around 10 a.m. Connor was about an hour behind us.
And you flew into Sioux Falls?
No, we flew into Rapid City. So last year last year, like this year, we didn't really plan it. We just said, yep, we'll be there. And we booked tickets. And I just thought, oh, we have like an extra day to spare. We'll go see Mount Rushmore. We're in South Dakota. Nope. 6 hours away. So we didn't go see that. So this year I said, let's do the reverse. We'll fly into Rapid City. We will go see Mount Rushmore, and then we'll do the meet. And so we landed, and it's just funny. It's just funny getting around like new states and like learning the ins and outs of them. So we land in Rapid City. I'm wearing my hat. I can't tell you the amount of times that people said to me, "Hey, nice cowboy hat." I said, "Oh, in South Carolina, we just call this a hat." But it was a lot. Yeah. It was a lot. But we land. I'm wearing my hat because you can't pack a hat. The way you pack a hat is you put it on your head.
Put it on your head.
And,
exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, so we land. We have a check bag with all the merchandise we're going to sell. We're waiting on it. I'm like, hey, I'll go ahead and go check in with the rental car. So I go to the Hertz desk, and the guy's like, "Oh, okay, nice hat." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And then he's like, "You're returning this in Sioux Falls?" And I'm like, yeah. He's like, "That side of the state is awful. And that drive sucks." And I was like, "Well, yeah, we're going there for a lifting event, but we yeah, okay." And he's like, "Dude, that drive's terrible." And I was like, "All right." So we get the vehicle. Yeah, we get the vehicle, and I'm like, well, I asked the guy, I'm like, "Hey, I got an hour to kill. Any places to get lunch?" And he's like, "Well, you could go to Perkins or Culver's." And I was like, "Well, I'm not really a big chain guy. Like, I kind of prefer like unique things." So he's like, "Go to this burger place." I forget what it's called now. So we go to the burger place, and it was like awful. And then Diana's like, "Remember that like all the food in South Dakota is bad?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do kind of remember that."
Should have hit that chain.
Yeah, should have hit the chain. Should have. That's
their state motto.
Yeah.
Should have hit the chain.
Yeah, should have hit the chain. You only eat our fast food. So we go back, pick up Connor, and we're just like, let's drive straight to Mount Rushmore, see it, which is like an hour from Rapid City. On the way there, we see like a bear explore world where you like pay for your car and you go in, and it's like elk. And now you're looking at lynx, and now you're looking at, ram goats, and it's like a reservation. Now I can't use the term reservation lightly in the state of South Dakota because it's not an Indian reservation. It's like a zoo.
Oh, they're alive.
Oh yeah, they're alive, and so you drive by and you're looking at it.
Yeah, I thought you meant like stuff.
Yeah, just
like
stuffed,
things.
Just dead animals.
You just drive by them.
Yeah,
hey, look at that.
They're alive.
They're sleeping.
And Connor's like, "Oh, I've been to one of these before. You have to get a loaf of Wonder Bread, and then you roll down the window, and the bears get up and start waving."
That sounds like what they don't want you to do.
Yeah, and then we get there, we pay, and it's like, leave your windows up at all times. It's like, okay, I guess there's no Wonder Bread happening.
Oh, one guy got eaten and it ruined it for everyone.
That's what always happens.
Yeah.
So we rode through there. That was cool. Saw some animals. Left. Went to Mount Rushmore. Have you been, Trey?
No, never.
Have you been?
No. Did they have the Strength Co plates on there?
They did.
Okay.
Yeah. Have either of you been to the Grand Canyon?
No. I want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nothing. I've never seen any large rock ever, actually.
I've been like Niagara Falls and.
Oh, okay. I've never been there. Okay. So when you go to Niagara Falls, which I've seen tons of photos of, tons of videos of, when you went there, were you like, whoa, this is even better than I thought? Or no?
Yeah. I like it lived up to the hype. I see. Cause I've been to like some monuments and it's like, you get there and you're like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
You see it and you leave.
That's called Washington, D.C.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But Niagara Falls was like it's like you had this big expectation and kind of lives up to it. So yeah, I would think Niagara Falls does.
Okay. So I've been in the Grand Canyon, and when you when you arrive at the Grand Canyon, your brain literally can't, at least mine couldn't, really understand what you're looking at.
It doesn't compute.
Yeah, and then we hiked 14 miles down, and then when you look up, it really doesn't compute.
Well, it's a hole, so you can't like see it coming up.
Well,
right?
you can see it. Only 1% ever leave the rim. Grand Canyon, hot fact.
What does that mean?
So it means 99% of people that visit the Grand Canyon just drive around the road on the top, and they never hike down at all.
Oh, well, I can't imagine why.
Yeah, I can't imagine why.
I'm not trying to go in there.
When people say 1%ers, that's what that means.
Yeah, that's what that means.
That sounds like a place you got to die.
It means 1% takes Ozempic and hikes down to the bottom and back.
I have a thing against deserts too. I just don't like being there.
So I'm kind of like generally think desert scenery is not that cool. Grand Canyon, hugely underrated, unbelievable, like go.
Really?
Like it's a must go. So
Okay.
And I've done all the like Northern California, I say all of them, but like I've done the redwoods, I've done the sequoias, I've done a lot of stuff, and it's all fantastic. Tahoe, Truckee, like all that's like amazing.
I want to see the redwoods.
Yeah, all that's like amazing, kind of mind blowing. Grand Canyon, super mind blowing. Mount Rushmore, I'm going in thinking gonna be really cool. No way, it's like mind blowing, and it's pretty crazy. And then you go into the little museum area and you like watch the 21-minute video where these guys like hiked up every morning, like got hooked. I'm always like, OSHA, please, I don't need a hard hat. What is this? These guys are hanging off the side of a mountain with like a 1940s winch, no glasses, no eye pro.
Smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, no helmet, nothing, putting dynamite in the side of the mountain.
They don't care.
And I'm like, wow, this is incredible.
Was it bigger than you thought or
yes,
smaller?
Bigger.
Bigger. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought
like,
really?
I was thinking it'd be the other way. Like, oh, there it is. Like,
Nope. It's
the other way.
It's very big.
That's a
Like,
big face.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a giant face. 4 of them.
How big do you think, like top to bottom, to Abe Lincoln's face?
Oh man, I read it
About
at
that
the
big.
museum.
Right here. It's just really close. So
Actually,
it looks,
let's. Why don't you just fact check that?
I'll
'Cause I don't
fact
want
check
to butcher
it.
it because I did see it, but it's really big, and like you can see Theodore Roosevelt's glasses, which is kind of weird and like mind blowing that they were able to do that. The level of detail that they could do is pretty mind blowing.
Especially with dynamite. That's super
With
impressive.
dynamite, yeah. And it was like they basically like made a model and they used like this long thing that comes out and they measure, like put the dynamite here, boom, boom, boom.
dude, each one is like 60, each face is like 60 feet tall.
Okay, good. I was gonna say 50. Yeah, it's huge.
That's
okay.
huge.
That's like
In the
how many
ballpark.
stories? 10-foot ceilings, 6 stories.
6 to 8 stories, something
Yeah,
like that.
6 to 8 stories. Miami, 20 stories.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Little. So each face is a little smaller than my apartment building.
There you go.
Ah, dude.
Yeah. Mind blowing.
That's a big face.
Mind blowing. And it's high up and it still looks big and you're far away. But Mount Rushmore, great. We leave Mount Rushmore and we drive to Deadwood, which I thought was in Mount Rushmore. Not another hour drive.
Okay.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah, hop, skip, and a jump away. We go to Deadwood. Cool. Wild Bill stuff everywhere. Like just randomly, like all of a sudden cowboys walk out into the street wearing their hats and they put cones off and block traffic. And then they do like a shootout.
What?
It's almost kind of like being it's like if Disneyland married Vegas, you get Deadwood. Like it's like everything's kind of theatrical. Well, I guess
Wow.
Vegas, it's like the Vegas of the Southwest. Well, whatever
Okay.
that is, West. But yeah, it's cool. There's like the spot where
Is that the picture I saw of you guys?
Probably.
You're like dressed up.
Oh
in
yeah,
attire.
so we went and did like the
Yeah.
old time photos, which was the plan. Like, D, you're pregnant. Let's go get pregnancy photos, like the old time thing. So you go in there.
She had a great pose.
Oh yeah, you have there's like 80 of them.
Really?
Photos,
I just saw
yeah.
one.
Well, it's like they're trying to like sell you like a print in a frame, and then they're like, or you can just buy all of them digitally. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just do that.
That was good digital, yeah.
Yeah. So we went there. It's like an old time saloon. Connor's like the barkeep. I have like a gun, but like all the clothes they put on you,
Checks out.
well, they're not like real clothes, and they just
Yeah.
keep like layering stuff. So I was just dripping sweat, like
Wearing-
super
just like old
hot.
times.
Yeah.
Were you wearing the hat? That, like,
Yeah,
trap
I was
seat?
actually
Yeah.
I was actually just wearing my hat. They were like, "Do you
Wow.
want one of our hats?" And so you can pick the backdrop. One of them had a Confederate flag, and they had like a bunch of like Robert E. Lee style hats. And we thought about
kinda
doing
wanted
that. Yeah, I kind of
that. Yeah.
But I was like, oh, I'll just wear my hat. And so we picked like everything's like saloonish, Old West backdrop.
Yeah.
So we picked that one. We took the photos, ate lunch or dinner.
Did you have a revolver?
Late lunch, had a revolver. You could have like a sawed off shotgun. There's like all kinds of
That's
options.
pretty awesome.
Oh, can I make a quick side comment? Dude, there's something
Bump stocks are legal.
I feel like you guys would agree with this. Maybe there's something about a revolver. I was at my friend's house the other day, and we were shooting. It was for 4th of July, and we were like shooting a bunch of stuff, hanging out. It was cool.
Yeah.
And everybody's got like with the pistols, they've got like whatever kind of semi-automatic pistol they've got, and like, oh, this is cool, all these cool features, whatever, blah blah blah. And then someone pulls out like, what was it, like a 44
44 mag.
44
Dirty Harry.
It was like a 44 Magnum, like
Yeah, they're cool.
metal. I picked that up and I was like, dang, I kind of don't care about all the features of the semi-automatic things anymore. Like, this thing is awesome. It's like 6 rounds. Who cares?
Ripato's a big revolver guy.
Really? Well, I don't know if I'm all the way there, but I did say like, oh, I kind of don't care about all the other stuff. There's just something cool about this.
What were you going to say,
They're
Trey?
fun, man. They're fun to shoot.
Yeah, they're fun to shoot.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Reliable too.
When you're holding a toy one,
Yeah. It's not the same.
You don't have the same feeling. So we did the photos, left Deadwood, and drove to Aberdeen. And
How long was that?
again in Deadwood, people, everyone's friendly, making conversation. Where are you going? What are you doing here? We're going to Aberdeen. Why? Why would you go there? Well, how much time do you have? I think it was 5.5 hours. We stopped once, but really long. And like, you don't see a person, you see nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it is just like hay bales, and like you rarely see a barn. You do see farming equipment passing you, but you see nothing. So we're leaving. We eat breakfast in Deadwood. We leave pretty early. South Dakota has 2 time zones, which should be illegal. So you pick up an hour. So we leave at 9 for a 6-hour drive, but then you add an hour, which just makes a long drive worse. Mm-hmm. And we're looking for places to eat. Connor drove a little bit, and I'm just like looking, okay, what cities are we going through on the 212? And it's like this city, population 284, population 304, population 402, right? Like all these small populations. Then I see Eagle Butte, population like 1,925.
Whoa.
I'm like, oh, great. Like they'll have good food. So I look up like, restaurants.
It's Culver's and Perkins.
I find number 9 steakhouse. And a place we had gone and watched, maybe we should talk about this. We went and watched like a Wild Bill Hickok reenactment in a place called Number 10 Saloon, which I guess is like really famous in Deadwood. And he's like, well, there I was in Springfield, Missouri. And I walked out on the street and a gunman walked out and I shot him right between the eyes. And somebody said, hey, Bill. And I turned and I shot him. Oh, man, I just killed my deputy. And like, he's like going through his life until he comes to Deadwood. Yeah, it was. Well, all weekend, Connor was like, I don't want to say your name too loud. Hey, Gramp. Oh, just shot my deputy. That was like our joke. But anyway, so Connor's like, oh, number 9. We went to number 10 yesterday. Like now we have to go to number 9. So we pull into Eagle Butte. We exit the interstate. And well, let me ask you this. Have you guys ever thought about an Indian reservation?
Yes.
Like the concept of it? Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been to one?
I drove by a lot in Florida.
Okay, like on the
Oklahoma,
map.
Yeah.
Okay, on the map, fair, same.
Yeah, through Oklahoma. Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever entered one?
No.
Yes, I feel like I have. Yeah.
Okay, so I kind of pictured like you were now on the reservation.
Yeah.
There's like a gate, and it's like
a welcome sign.
Show your card.
My Indian card.
Yeah, that you're allowed to have. I kind of assumed there was like some type of
border.
Yeah,
like a military base.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem is as a Marine, I was thinking like there was going to be some type of
entrance.
This is this tribe's reservation.
Yep.
You are now in.
You need to have these cards. Mm-hmm. Like for example, in Beaufort County, out where I live, there's a thing called the African Village. And when I was in high school, we like to go to the African Village because it's this weird sign, African Village, and you pull in and it's like, you are now leaving the United States of America. The chief is Chief, some long African name. And like you pull up and there's like people with like headdress type things on, like holding spears. And so you always just get to the interest and then you like quick rip a donut and leave. Like that's just what you do.
You don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on there. And so I kind of expected something like that. Anyway, we pull off an Eagle Butte. We're going to the thing. And like there's just drunk people in the middle of the day, Native Americans, like walking around, dogs crossing the road. Like it looked like the end times. Like it was just wild. I mean, because it doesn't look like homeless. It's like a different feeling. And I'm like, where are we going to eat? And we pull in and tons of people there. And a lot of people were like super nice. I didn't talk to anyone, but like looked super nice, but a lot of like mischief going on. And so it was like some type of family day. It's like Friday at noon. And so there's like people playing basketball, people all over. And then the place that we went to, which had 184 Google reviews, was just closed and boarded up. And so Dinah, everyone has to use the bathroom. We've been in the car for like 3 hours. So like the only option is porta potties. And then we're leaving. It's like government building, for this tribe, government building for this, government building for that. And then, so then I'm driving now. So I'm like, Connor's looking up. He's like, oh, that is like the reservation. And I was like, that is not what I had pictured.
Well, I was bold going in there dressed as a cowboy. They have beef.
Yeah, they do. So actually, I feel like wearing my hat is the thing that saved me.
What?
Well, because like lots of farming going on, like it kind of makes sense. If I had walked in dressed like a South Carolina frat boy, they'd be like, what is this thing?
Sperry's.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the time of the reservation. Got to Aberdeen, went to Tanner's house, and I didn't realize, I had a good idea that a lot of Massonomics guys listen to the OK podcast, but I didn't realize like that it's all of them because it was just like, okay. And so that's funny. So we're talking to folks, and then a guy comes up to me and he's like, so tell me about BW. And so like when you go to a Massonomics event, I've seen them 3 times at the Arnold, twice at the Lift Hard. I feel like somewhere else too, but it's a lot of like just saying the jokes from the podcast. Like we have one joke, okay, or maybe we say, oh, that's a good dude, right? But like we don't have a bunch. They have like a bunch of one-liners. So everyone's like, oh, Big Grant, you working hard or hardly working? And so he's like, hey, so tell me about BW. I'm like, oh man, BW Tax, what a great guy. If you're looking for tax services, and I like make some kind of rant, and he's like, no, seriously, I'm a financial planner. And I've been looking for someone to send all my clients to. And I'm like, oh, you like actually, and he's like, yeah. Like, and I was like thinking in my mind, like, oh, the sponsorship works.
If BW listened to this, he'd be so pissed.
Yeah.
He'd be like, no, it was a real customer.
Yeah. No. They've been in contact today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I linked him up. Yeah, of course. Once I realized what was happening, I did it.
That's a message to all you other advertisers out there listening. Mm-hmm. Our advertising works.
It works. And on a large scale. That guy's at Jacksonville, Florida. He was like, well, I love the fact that like BW knows how to like cross state lines. And I was thinking like, man, this has been a joke the whole time. But,
it is real though.
Of course it's real. No, everything we say is real and true.
Yeah. It like becomes a joke, but then we forget, oh yeah, this is actually true.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's good.
Yeah. So that was BW. Got weighed in for the meet, went and checked out the billboard. Billboard was cool.
Was it American?
Was it your
American
first ever
plates?
billboard?
Yeah, I've never done a billboard.
That's got to be kind of a surreal feeling seeing a
it was cool.
On a
even though
even though it's in Aberdeen,
it's not that it's not that surreal because I paid for it. But like if I was just driving through Austin, Texas, and someone was like, "Oh, the Stranko plates," that's surreal. Like, nah, I paid for every bit of this.
It was surreal when he asked me to make it.
That's right.
Yeah, he's supposed to be, hey, got a question for you. Can you make a billboard? I'm like, I can make a thumbnail. It's basically the same thing, just bigger, right?
Just printed.
Yeah.
I did learn a lot about it, and it was cooler in person than when people had sent me photos. But what I realized was we're probably not getting a bunch of sales from Aberdeen drive buyers. And
true.
What the point of it was for the, 250 people that went into town for this event was for them to take a photo in front of it. And the way it was designed and placed, first one I had control over And if I knew the way the second one was, I would have done a little bit different because it was hard. Like I tried to take a good photo in front of it.
Because there's that building jutting out in front of it.
And then the lights come out.
Yeah.
And so there's like no really good way to take a selfie. And we still had a bunch of people.
They should have warned us too, because I would have designed it differently.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like if I had known, he's like, you have this much space and this and whatever. And remember, there's this much of margin and bleed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool, let's make it this. But like,
yeah, if I would have known the lower third wasn't visible,
yeah,
I would have changed a few things.
Really different, but it was still cool. We got a photo, and then Saturday morning went to the meet, set up the booth, sold a lot of shirts. There's one.
Which ones you sell the most of?
Calhoun tees.
No way.
Yeah, by a large margin.
No way.
We sold a lot of squat tees. I didn't bring them.
That's my calling.
Yeah. I said that a million
t-shirts.
times. I was like, if Trey was here, like we'd be sold out by noon.
Is that blue one with the orange or?
No, that's the Bulldog, the Marine Corps Bulldog. It was the gray one. It's like a tri-blend gray, has Calhoun's head, says Stringco made USA.
Oh yeah, I don't have that. I don't have that one.
Yeah, then the same one that's black and white. And
I have the black
I
and
got
white.
that one.
I think we had 12 4th of July shirts left, but all in like weird sizes. We sold all but one. If you're a medium, it's up for sale on the site right now. And then if people came up and they're like, hey, I like the squat tee, we just gave them a coupon code for no shipping.
Okay.
And so like, because last year I think I brought, I don't know, a couple hundred shirts, and, probably sold 60 or something in person. And then it's like, oh, now I have to ship all these shirts back.
How many did you bring this time?
I brought, I think 72, and I brought home 9.
Not bad.
And then we sold a good bit online, and then we sold a lot of hats. And then there are, as of right now, 3 pairs of Lift Hard, Live Easy collars left. So
I kind of want those.
Yeah, those were a big hit. Did you say who or ooh, Trey?
They said ooh.
Yeah. So we're doing that, talking to people, making okay podcast jokes. Went to do my bench only, was back in the warm-up room, hadn't competed in a while. I'm like, warming up with Tommy. The juices start flowing, and Diana's there now, so she's running the booth. And so go ahead.
Do you treat your warm up in a competition the same as you do any other bench, or is it a little bit different, or what?
Yeah, I'd say the warm up for competition is the same process. The only thing you have to be more aware of is the timing of it. So like you have flights, right? So this will just be an example, but this is an accurate example. In my flight, there was 10 lifters. So they had 2 platforms going at once. So here's the bench. There's flight 1, flight 2, flight 3. Each one has 10 lifters. So flight 1 goes up and they do their first attempts. They do their second attempts. They do their third attempts. And then flight 2 goes up and does first, second, third, then flight 3. So like if I'm flight 2, when flight 1 is on their third attempt, probably I'm going to go start warming up. But then I'm like last in the flight, or not last. I think it was second or third to last in the bench press. So then it's like, well, I don't want to get warmed up too early. And then the first guy goes and everyone has 1 minute. So it's like if there's 8 guys ahead of me. So there's a little bit more like timing. Okay. I guess I don't say I've done so many meets, but I've probably done like 9 or 10. And then I've probably handled maybe, I don't know, 20 to 25 meets. So I don't really stress about that. Yeah, like I kind of get it.
That's tough though, because you don't want to go too late either, because then you warm up and now you're straight to your...
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't really think about it. All I thought was like, man, I haven't done this in a while, and this is pretty fun. So I hit my first bench at 330, and then I think I hit 348, and then I took 363. And I kind of thought 363, which was a PR for competition. My best is 380, but a competition, you have to pause at the bottom. And so you have to wait for commands. So you come out and hold it, and they go, start. And you go to the bench and pause. And
preparatory command.
Yeah. Then the command to execution is bench. And then what do you call the command that ends everything? Whatever that one is rack.
Yeah.
And so I did everything right the first 2. Then the second one, I was like, I think this is going to be kind of heavy because they kind of have long pauses.
Oh, you jump it?
Yeah, no. So I went and like it got a little sticky, and then it flew, and I locked out, and just like what I do every day in the gym. Boom. And so technically it didn't count. So you
got in your head. Okay.
Yeah, I got in my head. I was real stressed about it. And then one of the things you could sign up for was a push pull, meaning you just bench and deadlift. So I went and was like, hey, can you add me in for the deadlift? And the meet director's like, yes, no problem. So then I deadlifted 2, which I hadn't planned to do, and I pulled 520, something like that, which was annoying that I missed. What did I pull? I don't remember exactly what I pulled, but I calculated it later. If I'd hit that, if that last bench had counted, I would have done 1,000 pounds on 2 lifts. I was like, oh, that would have been cool.
Whoa, that's pretty crazy, actually.
Yeah, no, that's not right. It would have been 900 pounds.
I was gonna say,
damn. Yeah, I'm wrong.
I saw. Did they have like a fire?
Yeah, on
like,
your third attempt.
That was sick.
Yeah, they have a fire.
That's pretty nifty.
Yeah. So I finished that, and then the strongman started. Much more fun to watch than powerlifting. One, because they use strength coat plates. In powerlifting, they use that company, which cannot be named plates. But it's just like more dynamic, right? Like someone's lifting a stone, throwing it over, another person's they're going head to head. And then Grant's going against Jordy. Grant runs out of gas and leaves, but Jordy's still going, and Trey comes and takes Jordy's place or takes Grant's place. Yeah. And so then it's like still going, but you look super fatigued. They had the huge carry, a shield carry. They made it the shape of the state of South Dakota. That's
hilarious.
And they loaded it with plates. Kind of more exciting to watch. And then go ahead.
How'd my boy America Jack Sparrow do? Was he announcing?
Oh man, Microsoft ruined his flight.
He didn't make it.
Yeah,
no way.
A lot of people that were flying in Friday had issues, so he didn't make it. So they had another guy wearing a hat, which was cool. And I walked on the platform for deadlifts. He's like, "Nice cowboy hat," and I was like, "In South Carolina, we just call these hats." Now load the bar. Yeah, but strongman ended a little bit later, and then we run that turkey pull event. We've run a lot of events at the gym. And you never want to your customers and clients are there to have a good time. But at the same time as the owner, you just have this feeling of like, I have to get all of this equipment up and away. Cause tomorrow, in my case for the turkey pull, tomorrow people are going to want to go into the gym and do their workout. Yeah. That didn't come to this. And in Tanner's case, tomorrow people are there's an event at Massonomics Gym for people to go lift.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he was doing the strongman thing, and he asked me, he's like, "Hey, can you just help me break it? There'll be people, but I assume he was like, Grant can back up a trailer because he's like, can you bring my trailer in here? I was thinking there's a lot of people. I guess it's that states that start with South feeling that you think I can do this. So then it ended, and it was just like a rush of getting everything out. I bring that up because over my head, my trophy's hanging. I won, but I don't.
What'd you win?
I don't know because I had loaded up all the gear during the awards ceremony with me and Tanner, maybe 6 or 8 more guys, and I was unloading.
I think you won the trailer competition.
Yeah, I won that trailer competition. But I was unloading a Massonomics Gym, and Diana was helping Tanner's wife clean up their booth. And she goes, I just kept hearing Grant Broggi. So I went up because I came back to get her, and she was wearing the medal. I was what's that? She's like, you won.
So she won.
I either won push, pull, or bench only. I don't know.
That's
but
great.
I won something. But I left with hardware. That's all that matters.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Did
you wear that?
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, man. I'm a champion. First time back, I'm winning. Bringing home hardware.
Killing that trailer game, baby.
Killing that trailer game, baby. Best hat. I probably won best hat.
Best hat.
Yeah, best hat. And then Sunday, Sunday got up, went to Massonomics Gym, put the Greenville, South Carolina pin in the board appropriately. Very cool. Yeah. And then drove 3 hours to Sioux Falls. So most of the weekend was spent driving to these places. Had dinner with Tommy and his wife, and then Sunday morning went to the airport. Actually, funny story about Connor. His flight was at 1. Funny story that turns bad. Our flight was at 10. So I was like, hey, man, this is before we go to dinner Sunday night. I'm like, hey, man, if you want in the morning, I could drop you off in downtown Sioux Falls. I was like, it's a little bit like Greenville. There's a river that runs through it. There's a bunch of coffee shops, restaurants. And I was like, then you could walk around and see it. You're here. Sure. And then you could just Uber to the airport. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll definitely do that. I was like, because tonight we're just going to the restaurant. Dee's pregnant. We're going to finish eating dinner. We're going to come right back. Right. And he's like, yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. So we park downtown Sioux Falls in front of the restaurant. We all get out. Connor does a 360 and goes, yeah, I'll just ride with you to the airport tomorrow. I feel like I've seen it. So, I went to the airport the next day, which was yesterday, which feels like a long time ago, and checked the bag, hopped on our flight, no problem. And then Connor was stuck at the Sioux Falls airport for 12 hours.
Jeez.
I think he got home at 3 a.m.
Oh, brother.
This morning as we're recording.
Brother.
Yeah.
I will say I tuned in a little bit to the live stream.
Oh, that's a whole conversation.
That is a whole conversation. I loved it. They had a little bit of audio issues, but it was cool. It was really cool. And they had, I mean, I've done some live video stuff before, and it's a whole different beast than, hey, set up some cameras and film this. And they had the whole station there. It was good. It was well done. And I liked, as the viewer, one person would go do their attempt. It was cool. And my first thought was like, okay, man, now it's like, what are they going to do? You know, while they're warming up or waiting for the next one. And then it, boom, immediately switches to another platform. They're going, oh, they're cheering, boom, switches to another one. So it was like fast paced still. It made it interesting to watch.
That's awesome.
I only know his Massonomics Discord name, which is Mini Action Jesus, but he set up the live stream and it looked like he looked like a CIA operator. Like he had probably 6 monitors. And then he had like 2 or 3 stationary cams. One's a GoPro. Because I've live streamed from the Arnold. We take this camera we're filming in right now. We plug it to the computer just like we are. Go live on YouTube. Boom, boom.
With one camera, it's easy. As soon as you add 2, it's like 10 times harder.
Well, then he had that
production crew, right?
Then he had like that octagon thing that you hold on the sides, or
that's a gimbal.
Yeah,
and it's just a very elaborate gimbal.
So then he was like walking during Strongman with the competitors,
and then what you have to do is you can't wire that, so it's got to be wireless. So now you have to attach the wireless thing to it, have a receiver over at your desk, pray that it doesn't get interrupted.
Yeah,
and nothing runs out of battery or anything like that. It's a beast to do that.
It was production quality. Like it was hot. Like I was really impressed.
Yeah.
Well, good job, Guy. Whoever you are.
Guy.
Good job, Mini Action Jesus.
We could do. I mean, I don't know if we want to do all this, but we could do a slightly like a little smaller scale version of that at the Arnold potentially.
Yeah.
If you ever thought about it, but I think it's a good amount of gear you got to bring in. But they did a good job.
He had a lot of stuff. I was watching it because our booth was right behind where he was sitting, and I was like, I feel like I'm watching Strongman. Actually, well, I mean, I was watching Strongman, but I mean, like the world's strongest man. I was like, actually, this is almost better.
Oh, it's cool. Yeah.
And
then good. It's hard because you're the guy there. It's intense to sit there and do that.
Yeah.
Because you got how many cameras do you think he had?
I'm gonna guess 4, maybe 5 with a GoPro.
4 to 5 cameras. So you're watching all those, and you got to keep up with like, who am I switching to?
Yeah.
Oh, they just messed up. They got to redo it. Cut the camera. Got to cut the camera. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Go to the next one. You know, and why is the audio not working? Got to fix that while I'm trying to switch the cammers.
Where did you find the link?
That's a good question.
I think Connor put it on the story. Maybe
it maybe was a story.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. That's just the power of the internet.
That's just the power of the internet.
I just found myself there.
So was everybody amateur? Was there any big names there, or is it just kind of?
He just called you amateur.
Yeah. So I was there, Trey.
Wow, I heard that.
Yeah, I heard it too. I felt it actually.
It's okay. It's cool.
So your name's Trey, so it's throwing me off. Strongman, I think his name's Trey Mitchell in Texas.
Okay.
He's sponsored by Barefoot Shoes.
We met him.
Yeah, we met him. Yeah, he was there. He wasn't competing, but no, there wasn't anyone like,
like Steve Bake wasn't there.
Yeah, but I mean, again,
Brian Shaw,
Steve Bake.
Steve
Bake's a freak, but everyone knows Steve because we put him on a stage, right? Like it's not like. There was no huge names. Yeah.
You better be careful.
Yeah, better be careful.
You better be careful talking about my boy Steve Bake.
The baker, he's baking up some cookies.
Well, so that was the thing I thought when Gino, like the loss of Gino, which like
it was a big hit.
You can't help that Microsoft's
He's alive, by the way. He's not dead.
Yeah, no, he's alive, unlike Richard Simmons. R.I.P.
Yeah.
But Gino really, even if he doesn't know anything about anyone,
it doesn't matter.
Justin from Alabama. You know, it's cool. And the guy that did it though, I want to make sure no shade being thrown. He did a great job. Especially, I even thought, what if Gino was here? And I was like, Gino would have made a big deal about people that he knew, but with 2 platforms, it's like platform 2, PJ, 200 kilos. The lift is good. Platform 1, Trey, 220 kilos. and the lift is good.
So this guy knew like everybody competing.
It's all on the screen.
Part of the Massonomics family. Okay.
It's all on the screen. It's just like it's like reading a teleprompter, which she did a great job at, but it's like boom.
Yeah.
And because there's 2 and each one's a minute, there's really not a lot of time
For commentary.
Gino
would have found time.
but there really wasn't a lot of time.
Right.
But yeah, no.
Look at that American flag. I still love that story.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Look at that American flag.
Look at that American
I know,
flag.
brother.
Yeah. Did you know he was the backup singer for Motley Crue?
Shut up.
Dead serious.
You're lying.
No, dead serious. This is not a Jack White story.
This tracks.
Dead serious. So I'm in
His get up now makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah. So we had a joke last year. We went to this Caribou Coffee, and there's like a Caribou Coffee is like in South Dakota's like a Dunkin' Donuts in the Northeast. Like every 4 feet, you're at a Caribou. So there's one that we like that has like couches, a fireplace. And so the Massonomics guys always talk about how the Aberdeen magazine has never like covered them. And like they bring a lot of like outsiders in. So last year we went there, grabbed the Aberdeen magazine. I like set it up with my coffee and we like photoshopped, the guys on the front of it and, whatever for a photo. And so we were like, oh, let's go back there Sunday morning. So we go there and there's not the Aberdeen magazine. It's like a print newspaper. And on the front page is Tanner and it's about the Lift Hard, Live Easy 2. And that's so awesome. I'm reading it and we take a photo, but I'm reading it and it starts talking about, oh yeah. And we have this colorful commentator coming. He's like the premier voice for powerlifting. He was a backup singer for Motley Crue. He dresses like Jack Sparrow and wears like dark eyeliner. And I was like, I had no idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's just his clothes. It's not even a get up.
Yeah, that's just clothes. And and Motley Crue, we just call them clothes. Yeah. So anyway, that's the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll have to make it out there eventually one day.
That assumes they keep doing them.
So they're not going to?
Every day is a gift. No, I think they are. Yeah.
How'd you end up doing deadlift? Did you just like have a change of heart and be like, I'm going to try this out like last minute or what?
Yeah. So I wish
peer pressure?
No, I mean, maybe I wouldn't call it peer pressure. I'd call it more like warm up juice. But basically I wasn't okay. I go there to sell stuff and interact with people and have a good time. Right. But this is what I was saying in my mind. I don't go there to compete. Last year, D total trooper got there 7 a.m, stayed till 6 p.m, helped run the booth, and I ran most of the camera. This year, I'm like, you don't take a 6-month pregnant woman and try to make her work for 12 hours, especially if you don't have to.
It's a bad plan.
So I'm like, hey, drop us off, go back to the hotel, take your time, eat breakfast, come in, and then hang out for a few hours. And then, because after the meet, there's like a big meetup. So I'm like, I'd prefer like you have the gas to like go all day. So I knew she wasn't going to be there for part of it. And the majority of the sales happened all day, but the majority is like people walk in. Oh, Strength goes here. Let me get a t-shirt. Yeah. And so, you were there at the Arnold, Trey. It's like somebody has to have the key card and do it. Right. And so it was just Connor and I. So Connor was running a lot of the camera. And so I was like running the booth, which is exactly what I wanted to do. And so the whole idea was, hey, I'll do bench only. I get to participate, but then I can do what I'm there to do. Because bench is like very low risk. But by the time I started benching, Dinah was there running the booth. And I'm like, oh, I can deadlift.
Yeah.
So I just was like, hey, I was just having fun. So I was like, why not?
It was a good time, man.
Let's deadlift. Yeah.
Dude, it's super impressive that the pull they can get to come to Aberdeen.
That's true.
It's wild.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. And international travel, guy from England was there.
Wow.
Tons of Canadians,
so awesome.
Which I know is close, but still hard. But the amount of people there, it's wild. It's like the event of the year for them. And I don't mean them. It was kind of like it's one of the events of the year for me. My childbirth will be more important, but like it's like a really
but
fun.
It's second.
Yeah, it's second. Yeah, it's tied with the Arnold.
Yeah.
But no, it really is fun, and it's like if you're into it and you listen and you know all the jokes, and you by default kind of know all the people. That's actually probably the hardest thing with it. It's because you see someone and you're like, I've seen you on Instagram. I know you own our plates. I talked to you last year. I have no idea what your name is.
What's your name?
Yeah. Not important.
Hey, guy.
Yeah. Hey, big guy.
Working hard or hardly working.
Yeah, exactly. You just throw them a one-liner. Yeah. Oh, I guess they'll let anyone in here. But yeah, that was that. So we did it. And then we came home and
That's fun.
I go to Jersey in the morning for drill for 5 days. So
Jersey.
Ooh,
yeah.
less fun.
Less fun. Marine Corps field op. Summertime, 90 degrees.
No.
Bring the electrolytes.
Hey, man. I'm going to Miami tomorrow.
What's
Miami
that?
trip.
What's there?
Going down, see old coworker. That'd be good to do. I'm going to visit a client that I've never really met in person. I just feel like we're all digital these days, but it's good to have some FaceTime.
No, for
with
sure.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to go meet them and we're having dinner at his house. Dave Rubin, if you ever followed him on YouTube,
Yeah.
he's got a pretty big channel.
Dinner at his house, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wait,
Yeah.
your
It's
friend
not
is
just
Dave
me.
Rubin?
Yeah.
I was about to say.
His client's Dave Rubin. That's a whole different
Oh,
relationship
client's Dave
with friends.
Yeah. Yeah. So I met him one time before back in 2021, but just briefly because he came on and did an interview for another client that I was working for down there in Miami. But I just met him briefly. I don't think he even remembers. And the person I was talking to on the team was like, hey, there's going to be a dinner at Dave's house. Let me see if I can get you in. Stay tuned. We'll see. Because also, you don't want a random dude coming dinner. And then she gets back with me and she's like, hey, you're good to go. So me and Kate are both going to go to that.
Cool.
And she was like, yeah, the first question he asked was, is he sane?
Well, he follows your channel, so no.
No, absolutely not. I was like, no, I'm sane. Don't worry. I'm good.
Nice.
But yeah, man, I'll report back next week.
Are you going to hit all your old spots?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to show Kate around Miami and see the old stomping grounds, Brickle.
Yeah, good spot.
Good
Must be
spot.
fun.
We'll go to that island where I almost died from cardio and running, where you smoked me in that run.
Gotta get it. That was the first time I felt good about my running capabilities in years.
Yeah, just run with me, dude.
We should run together more often.
Yeah, you'll feel great. Hit the swamp rabbit, bro. You'll be feeling good.
Man, I am a premier athlete.
I am in shape. Yeah, man. But it'll be good. It'll be good. I haven't been there in a while, and my continuous take on Miami is, man, great place to visit. I've lived there, and I say great place to visit. Don't want to live there.
Only been
I can
once.
see that.
Yeah.
But
You had a good time though.
Great time. No, I loved it. I think it's a great place to visit. It's like going to South America.
It is actually. That's true. It's a different world down there.
I guess technically is South America.
Florida's not the South.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Even Hank Williams Jr. said that.
oh, dude, solid week.
Solid week.
Yeah. How the girls doing?
Girls doing good, man.
Sleeping?
They're sleeping. Let me see. They usually go to bed around 9:30. Wake up around 5:30. So they're sleeping pretty good.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Well, they sleep through that entire stretch?
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
I would say in the last week and a half, they've been pretty consistent with that. So.
Okay.
That's good, man.
Better
than my sleep schedule.
Yeah.
I guess.
Somebody's going
I'm trying to think. Are we doing save rounds? I was
gonna go
Olympics
save.
coming up.
Oh yeah.
Everyone forgot about the Olympics.
Let me announce it. Saved rounds and alibis. Oh yeah, Trey, what do you got?
Olympics, man. Was it July? Is it this weekend? Is that when it starts?
Probably, because the Marine Corps always schedules like a field op when there's something you want to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, they scheduled around that.
Do that on
This is a dumb question. This is summer,
LeBron's
right?
carrying the flag in? Yes.
This is indeed summer.
It is a summer, right?
That's a fair question, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
correct.
Once you finish this save round, I got a Star Wars save round. Remind me.
Okay.
LeBron's carrying the flag in?
Yeah, I think they announced that.
Okay.
First NBA player to carry or basketball player to carry the flag in. I
So
guess,
is USA basketball playing this summer?
Yeah, man,
And-
they almost lost.
and
They had a warm-up game. They almost lost to South Sudan.
Oh. Dare I bring up the fact that the WNBA All-Star team beat the USA women's team by 9 points?
Ooh.
I heard Caitlin Clark had it put on a show, didn't
Put
she?
on a show because she wasn't picked for the USA team. And then she put on a
vengeance.
show and then also was like, I don't need to do the 3-point contest. I'm good. So
Yeah, get
Baller.
did they, when they
Part of me
almost lost to South Sudan, like it was close or like they were down and had to come back?
So they were down at halftime. USA came back. South Sudan went up with like 8 seconds left. LeBron scored.
Oh, I saw the game
LeBron,
winner. I saw the game winner. Yep.
Yeah, LeBron scored with 8 seconds left. South Sudan missed it barely at the end.
I saw that.
Part of me was rooting for South Sudan.
Yeah.
That'd be major.
Represent,
Yeah.
represent my girls, baby.
Yeah, that
That's where they're
checks.
from.
That tracks. That tracks.
Oh, that's where they're from. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so ignorant question, and I should know because I'm from South Carolina and I just went to South Dakota. Is there a North Sudan? Or is it like South Sudan and Sudan?
Not
like
ignorant question. So South Sudan is like one of the newest countries in the world.
I was gonna say I've never heard of that country. I thought it was just Sudan.
Yeah.
So it was Sudan, and then they broke apart. There was
a
maybe
war.
around 2010. Yeah, there was a war.
Yeah.
That's how it,
And
how it goes.
They broke apart, and there was a bunch of, it was like refugees, and so it's a relatively new country, and then it's been kind of a mess over there.
So
in
is
general.
it South
it's really cool to
Sudan
see
and
their
North
basketball
Sudan,
team.
or is it South Sudan and Sudan?
Sudan. It's
Okay.
South Sudan.
Okay.
Sudan.
So it's
they
really
go
cool
north.
to kind of see them do kind of well. It's kind of a
new
Cinderella
country,
story.
underdog. That's
with
cool.
everything they got going on.
It
It's
actually
really
is
cool
cool.
to see.
Yeah.
Oh, declared and recognized 2011.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was close. I said 2010.
Do you call him a Sudanian? South Sudan? Sudanese.
Sudanese.
Yeah,
Is that the plural?
I think this.
No.
You're a South Carolinian.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah, so
if I'm
they're
from South,
Sudanese.
if I'm from South Sudan, I say I'm Sudanese,
Oh, it's right in the middle of Africa.
or I'm
Yeah.
South Sudanese.
Yeah, I think that you could say that.
Oh yeah, it's right in the middle of Africa.
Right in the middle.
I miss the rains down there personally.
Well, Toto reference, baby. I like that. I like that Toto reference.
Oh, okay. So
What's your start? Yeah, the Star Wars.
save round. So we get to Sioux Falls Convention Center. We check in just ahead of Connor, and you know, like the Embassy Suites, where it's like this was a Sheraton or Marriott or something. But you know, and the Embassy Suites are classic for this. It's like a glass elevator in like the middle
Oh, yeah.
where you ride up.
Yeah.
So I get in and I don't even know what I'm with. And this isn't Grant trying to be funny. And the reason Grant's funny with not understanding sci-fi is because he's not trying to be funny. But there's like two guys, combat boots, like I'm going to guess Star Trek, like a lot of like extra plastic, you know, gun on the leg, gun here, gun there, you know, grenades. But they're holding like a bunch of toys, like in bags, like not a part of the costume.
Okay.
And we get in and I'm just like, man, everywhere I go, whenever I travel, even in South Dakota, it's always like Comic-Con. Like everywhere, like it's all like
Every day
when
is
we were in
Comic-Con.
Boston for the Red Sox NBA Finals, it was Comic-Con or some version of that. I'm like, everywhere I go, there's like people doing what do we say we call it? The cosplay, right? It's like always that. So like we're standing there with the guys, and what's funny is like you can look in their eyes, and I'm thinking, this is a South Dakota redneck. He's just dressed up. I'm like, what's the event, brother? And he's like, oh, it's like it was like a cancer awareness thing for kids. It seemed like a great event. So anyway, boom, we go up, and then like I'm looking down, you know, at the bottom of the hotel. I'm seeing more like Comic-Con-esque people walking in.
Okay.
And I'm thinking like Connor's going to crack a joke because he's in the elevator now. Doesn't. We go to get dinner. We meet Connor in the lobby. We go to leave. And there's this like yellow. Like it looks like a, oh man, Jeff's going to be so mad about how bad I'm going to butcher this. It looks like a shop vacuum with like a dome on top with like a bunch of buttons. And
R2D2.
well, no, let me continue. I think the answer is no, because it's yellow. Isn't that one white?
Yeah, that one's white.
So it's like yellow, and I'm being dead serious. And I'm like, Connor, look, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he's like, no. And I'm like,
is it C-3PO?
isn't that the tall one that's all
the tall-
gold?
That's the all gold
Does
one.
R2D2 have like a kid brother? That one.
This one?
What is that?
I don't know.
That's the
Is
one.
it the ball?
That's deep. That's a deep cut.
Yeah. What's the RD? Well, show Trey on the camera. I bet he knows.
Star Wars
Is it-
Droid Factory R2 Yellow 2.
R2 Yellow 2?
Yeah, I don't know.
R2 Y2.
I don't. Y2K?
Y2K. I mean, we kind of just lived through that. Here,
It wasn't BB-8.
we're going to show you on the camera right here.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's not going to work, is it?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
That's
Connor
Star
knew what it
Wars
was.
droid. Yeah.
Yeah, Star Wars droid, but was not Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I could have told you that.
Who's
by
Obi-Wan
guessing.
Kenobi?
Yeah.
Is that the wrong
He's
movie?
the Jedi. He's the Jedi.
He's like the mentor figure of the
I thought that was not Gandalf. What's the little Yoda?
Yoda. Well, he's another one.
Oh,
He's a swamp one.
he's also a Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's an old school. He's an OG.
Yeah.
Not Gandalf.
Well, Gandalf.
Yoda's like the Mark Ripito.
Not Dumbledore. What's his name? He's Dumbledore, right?
Yeah, the Hobbit, right? Yeah. Anyway, so that was going on. That was my save round with that. And then Connor was like, "Wait, you were seriously thought that was Obi-Wan Kenobi?" I was like, "Literally, I saw a thing, and I was like, I know it's Star Wars. First thing came to mind, Obi-Wan Kenobi."
Where's Jeff when you need him, man?
I know.
You know.
I hope he made it this long with my mom listening.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Any other saved rounds?
Let's see.
You been back in the gym?
I have been.
All right,
I was there
there you
yesterday.
go.
I'm going
Boom.
tomorrow.
Nice.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Man.
Fitting it in.
If you're struggling to fit it in, as they say, you can join our Slack channel. $29 a month. Links in the show notes. Come in. Over 200 and I think we're over 230 lifters now. Everyone doing some form of strength training. A lot of starting strength people in there, but not just that. So if you're looking for some cursory form checks, hey, I need to lose weight and I need someone to help me hold me accountable. I know what to do. I just never do it. I'll put you in the weight loss thread, private thread. You have to be posting your weight Monday, Wednesday, Friday to get in there. A bunch of threads. If you're into crypto, because you like this podcast, crypto thread, a lot of good talk going in there. There's a lot of secret threads on top of the regular threads. And as you speak your mind and talk in the other ones, we may pick up on things and put you in random private threads, and then you'll be like, "Oh, these are my people." But all 230 people are your people. So if you want to join us on Slack, do that. $29 a month. Use code OK.
Okay.
And save nothing. But yeah, you can join us over there. Actually, I'll just turn on a $5 coupon code for OK. So OK, get in for $24 a month. I'll make it live by Friday. This point of the show, we've talked about all the current events, everything that's going on. What did you want to talk about, Joe? Biden? Joe Biden resigned.
He's gone.
Yeah, wild.
And everyone's surprised.
Yeah, shocking. So Joe's gone.
I think they had to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It is weird, though. It's a weird political season.
Yeah. Now who do you think it's going to be? If it's not Joe, who's it going to be?
So whether
Gino?
it's Joe or Gino, I'm just like, can we just get to college football season? Because this is exhausting.
Dude.
Anyway, at this point of the show, once we've covered all current events, important sports topics, talked about strength training, recap the Lift Hard, Live Easy 2, what we've always done is hand it over to Trey to tell you, the listener, what you can do for us.
Ooh. All right, guys. And I know the episode number 2. I'd like to thank everybody for listening to the
Okay
podcast. This is episode 030. No bingo here. I'd like to thank our sponsor, BW Tax, keeping the lights on, keeping us going. Great guy, even better at taxes. Give him a shout if you need him. As Grant said, you can find us on YouTube. Please subscribe there. Leave us a comment. Love to interact with you there. Find us in the Slack channel. Look at the show notes for the link there. Go to www.theokpodcast.com and find all of our social media there. We're super active. All of us.
Super.
Especially
everyone.
Jeff.
Especially Jeff. At Biggie JP.
Jeff's live right now.
Yeah.
He's live.
Yeah. And for those that want to follow Biggie JP, remember it's BUEGE JP.
Buege. Yeah.
Buege JP.
But as always, I'd like to thank our listeners for making it this far. So, Coach, did I miss anything?
Nope, you're good. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.